with an update on the Delta Force 35 build. Last episode I was showing you how I installed my brushless motor, brushless ESC and servo into the hull. This episode here we're gonna go over the rudder, how to fine-tune your rudder, make sure everything's working correctly there. I'm also going to show you the system I use to organize and tighten up my water cooling for the engine and ESC. Also wanted to just show you how the battery tray worked and how I made it. Other than that, I've got my batteries hooked up, the servo's hooked up to its receiver, and I'm moving the rudder back and forth and see what action we have. I'm noticing that the rudder is actually tipping up. That's a feature that they included. If you hit just say a turtle, I've had bad luck with turtles myself, or stump, an old pylon, and it hits the rudder, you actually won't break the transom where it's through bolted at. It'll just kick up and you'll lose full steering once you hit the obstruction. I'm going to tighten down these two screws, the nuts, and I'm going to kind of cinch it down. You don't want it to pop up very easily. I had it unscrewed and loosened up while I was working on the boat. Just made it easier for me. So I'm going to grab Allen. It's the right size, and I like to use these 4-ways that Traxxas or Arma they included in their are ready to run trucks. It works great for working on boats too, but I'm just going to kind of cinch this down and see what it looks like once we get some get them locked down. You don't want to lock it all the way down, because that's one of the main features of this rudder. Yeah, that'll do it. Needs to be loosened up just a hair, so it will pop up if you hit something at speed. There we go. A little bit more. Alright. Get this guy here. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. If you hit something, it's not going to damage your boat. The rudder will actually pop up, but you'll still have full steering. Alright, looks like it's working right. Yep, looks good. This rudder has a 2-way water pickup for your ESC and motor. I think I showed you last time. I'm going to show you again. I don't think you got to see it that well. I'm going to turn the boat around here. But you can see the water pickup here, how big the holes are. The holes were not even half that size when I received the rudder. But so I drilled, and you got to do it slowly. You got to do it. Take your time. Get some, put it through on the water in your kitchen sink. Have the water running through it, and see how much of flow you have with your water coming out the holes here. I've gotten mine pretty dialed in. You see the two fittings there, where the water cooling tubes come into the rudder. These actually didn't have threads on them. They were just you could push them in, pull them out. I kept having them pop out when I'm running, and one of the ways to fix that is you could kind of see the red Loctite on that nipple there. But I just put a little bit of Loctite on both of them, and I haven't had that issue since I've had the Loctite on. Like I was saying, I had made these through holes. It's just a piece of tubing, like a piece of copper tube that you can get from any hobby shop. I used that with a piece of copper pipe that I drilled out, and I just shaped it. I shaped it to the shape that I wanted. Polished it up. They're a little bit tarnished now. I haven't cleaned the boat in a while, but it goes through the hole, and I use Loctite on that too to join the two pieces of metal together. I could have soldered it, but I think Loctite will hold it in place. You can see inside of the boat here where there's no nuts on the actual through holes. I epoxied them in. Makes it a little bit tough to remove, but I don't have to worry about leakage. My nuts coming loose, so it's actually a bonus. At the time I was building this boat initially, they didn't have the through holes in stock at OSE Offshore Electrics, so I got antsy and made my own. They turned out nice. I like them. So from there, from the rudder to the water cooling, runs into this jacket. The jacket has two O-rings on the outside of each opening where the can of the motor slides into. Water actually goes through there, and it touches the actual outside of the motor. There's nothing separating them, so you need to make sure your O-rings are good and not dried out. That's some good maintenance that you should do. Occasionally, annually, just take your water jacket off, clean off the O-rings, replace them if they're cracked or damaged. You don't want your hoses, tubes. Silicone is best. I like this polypropylene line. It's great. I like it. I've always used it, but silicone is actually better. You don't want your tubes just kind of flopping around when you're running your boat, so you always want to try to tie them down somehow. I used the zip tie method. The zip ties there, you just kind of go around the pipe, the tube, and connect each one that way. Just if you're doing it, little advice: don't make it too tight. It'll restrict water flow, and it will make it tough to move the zip ties up and down the hose for your small adjustments. And it goes into your ESC here. The brass tube goes around your ESC, and that's the cooling to cool your ESC down and out the back of the boat. I like to use when I'm running my boats. I've had a lot of issues with batteries coming unplugged. This is kind of a little tip for you beginners. Tape works good. It just makes a mess of your wires. If you want to run a piece of tape around your battery cables to keep them plugged in, like running your boat, you're turning, you're hitting waves. They tend to back off, and your boat's stuck out in the middle of the pond. A way to fix that, and it's tough sometimes waiting for the wind or having to go out to get your boat if you don't have a recovery boat, which we will be building a recovery boat here soon in one of the episodes, so check that out in the near future. What I use to secure my battery cables are these, it says Spectrum. It's HDMI cable, like TV cable Velcros. They're nice. I mean, you just wrap it around both of your wires from both batteries and the ESC side, and I haven't had any issues with my batteries coming unplugged since I've been doing this. With both of the connectors, EC5 connectors together, it makes it kind of tough for them to pull apart, opposed to just singly out and about flopping around. With my battery tray, I built this, I made a mold and built this battery tray, laid up fiberglass and gel coated it. So that's actually a part from a mold I have, but I made it for this boat specifically. And all I did was, I made the part, of course, the tray, and I epoxied it into the hull of the boat. Before I epoxied it, I drilled the two Velcro strap holes. I just run my straps right through the bottom into the bilge there, and it actually works really well for keeping your batteries in place. This tray will hold two 4S batteries, or it will hold two 6S batteries, and depending on the MAH of your 6S, they should fit right on it. So that's how I kind of run my boat here. That's how my setup on this Dyna Delta Force is 35. This is my setup. Soon I'll have the high voltage ESC, so we can run a little bit bigger props. But I like running this 6S system with a TP. I run a smaller prop and I get a higher top speed without any cooling issues whatsoever. But the next time you see this boat, it's going to be in the water at my local pond, and we're going to be tearing it up, ripping it up out there. 30 knots and no smoke, ironclad RC. Hope you guys can learn something. If you have any comments, please leave them in the below. Anything I said wrong. If you have any tips for me, something you see on my boat that I could use or could do better, please by all means leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Ironclad RC, Big B here.